Tell me, what was the most interesting thing that happened to you business-wise in the last month?
Okay, so that's interesting. So I was on a podcast, I think a few days ago with Shopify, and they were just talking about trends and so on. A lot of really good content, a lot of content that came out of it. But I sort of made a few notes for myself after listening to that, which I would like to share with all the viewers here. So I suppose the three main things all businesses are trying to do in this climate. Mission of any business person, particularly the medium to small to medium SME, is number one, make sure business scalable for growth, or make it agile so it can cope and consolidate in difficult trading conditions. Number two is to focus on what you really do the best. What is your skill set of your team, yourself? Focus on that. You may have other processes which are necessary, but we can look at, or you should look at outsourcing them or changing the way you do those things. And part of our conversation today will be about that sort of outsourcing piece. So number two is focus on what you do best. Number three is cost. I mean, that's everybody's facing inflationary costs, many reasons for that. So you have to establish efficient processes and how you manage those costs. So three things we discussed in terms of the mission. So the challenges we are facing: inflation. Absolutely. I mean, a great statistic in not just raw materials, but to acquire new customer, it costs you 30% more than retaining the existing customer. That's a third cost more. So your strategy should always be to retain customer. But inflation is affecting cart sizes, it's affecting order values. So that's a major thing for this year and coming years. Number two, the challenge is customer retention, which is related to cost, engagement, loyalty. How do you create that loyalty? How do you create that conversation? So given rising prices, given all the challenges, you retain those customers. So what is that? How do you engage with customers? And number three challenge is supply chain. I mean, we've spoken about this previously, and this is going to get worse before it gets better. Reasons we've also covered: the war in Europe, the lockdowns still continue in China, and rising inflation for materials and services and utilities. Solutions. So three areas of solution: automation of your repetitive manual processes. We will look at that today. Also, managing your inventory and supply chain better or differently. And finally, this is more not in the conversation today, but could be covered in later sessions: pricing strategy. In other words, you need to increase prices, but how do you do that without losing customers? To frame our conversation around the three missions: make your business scalable, agile, focus on what you do best, and reduce the cost and establish efficient processes.
That is a very interesting take.